Hello, hello! How's everyone doing today? Sorry, I had a little bit of an issue. I forgot to hit start broadcasting. That's why it didn't start. I actually started on time, but then I didn't press the other button. So, still a little bit new to this. Greetings from Norway. How are you doing? Hello in Germany. And Canada. And in the EU. In Seguin, Texas. By New Braunfels, yep, that's right south of us. All the parts you need to build is in the description. Yes, so in this video, I'm building my power box. This is my newer version, and this was my old one. Very simple one. 3D printed case and just a few different components on the inside. And I put a list inside the description of this video. It links to the Thingiverse and the files and all that stuff. So, and that's what I'm pointing this camera to all the time. You always see me pointing to this box. It's right here. Hello from Temple. That's right north of us. South Africa, Australia. Hello, hello. Got people logging on now. Hello from the Netherlands. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through doing a build of this, the newer version here, and someone can build it at home. This is actually my an older version of it. So this one's soldered together, all the wires in here, but I have a newer version where you don't even need to solder anything together. Oh, 20. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate the donation. You used to live in Battle Bend in Austin. Oh, wow. How were the storms? Yeah, so we had some really bad storms yesterday, and they were early on in the day, and it was flash flooding. It was pretty bad. Can I get a PC interface? So you don't need the camera. Eventually, I'm using off the shelf parts, and so eventually I'll come up with something. I'm sure I can use an Arduino or something to make a interface, and then I'll have to write a GUI, and then you start going down that rabbit hole of having to maintain software and all that stuff. So unless we open sourced it, right, and then other people can help me on that. But I'm pushing this out. Anybody can remake this and turn it into a Lenovo or anything. I don't have any plans of doing any other manufacturer because I only work on Dell and Alienware. So yeah, using RS-232. I built tons of stuff with Arduino, so I can use a microcontroller and just look up and write the code and do all that stuff. But hello from Tanzania, East Africa. Hello from Germany, another German here. How are you doing? What's my hardest repairing experience? What was my hardest repairing experience? I mean, pretty much every day. So the thing about my company is, so we specialize only in Dell and Alienware, and so people will ship their laptops like from all over the U.S. to us. But the main thing is that by the time somebody wants to send something to me, it's because it's not an easy fix. So I would say every single repair is hard, and actually I hired a technician last year who had worked at many repair shops. Excuse me. He worked at many repair shops over like the 15-year span. Doing laptop repair exclusively, and he only lasted about a month, and he kept telling me, he's like, why are all these repairs so hard? It's like, yeah, because you're sending, everyone sends the hardest repairs to us because we know what we're doing. So so I would say every single one. I mean, you know, sometimes you're like, okay, I've seen this one a million times, so I can just knock it out real quick, and sometimes it's like, why is this doing this? So I had a weird one today that it ended up being a screen that was bad, but we had 3 different machines that were doing the exact same thing, and they all had bad screens. It was very strange. So I went ahead and bought a brand new machine that had a screen and everything, and I was able to attach it on there, and it worked on every single laptop. But what it was giving was a symptom of a bad motherboard. So it was just a very strange, weird thing. And so this is an X14. They have a tendency of having bad screens, apparently. So now I'm just adding that to my list of things. Welcome from Melbourne. Let's see. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you think my channel rocks. You know, I try to do the best I can. USB-C version would be great. I would still have to build the interface. If I did an Arduino, it'd probably be micro USB, unfortunately, because those things are, uses the older interface. The Maldives. Wow, we got people from all over the world here. This is quite entertaining. Probably another laptop, another day. Another laptop, another day. Fix my wife from being mad. Yeah, I had a comment the other day. It was like the guy, he said, I sat here for 3 hours watching your videos, and now my wife wants to divorce me if I don't stop watching your videos. And I was like, all right. I cannot believe that people get sucked into watching my videos that much, but I mean, I guess it's doing the job. Better than USB-C is an ESP32. Yeah, so I've used ESP32s a lot too. Yeah, they're good. And then you can do wireless. I don't know if the lag would be, too much. G5500, not giving you guys any problems. No, 5500s, no, I haven't seen a bunch of those through here. So I don't see anything. You want to get an Alienware for gaming laptop and hardcore gamer suggestion. So if you're going to get an Alienware, get like so if you bought a brand new one, you're going to pay so much money, right? Because it's like inflated prices. So I would get a couple years old is probably what I would do. Get like an X series or something. So an X17, X15, R2 or something like that. I think that you'd be the best. Greetings from Sherwood Forest, Nottingham. Ooh, I was just at the Sherwood Forest Fair, which is a Renaissance fair a couple weeks ago. They were in town. Watching in Ghana. Oh, the G5500 is at my shop right now? Oh, my God. Well, I don't know. I would have to look it up. I can check real quick. Let's see. Give me a second. That's funny. There it is. It's in queue. So yeah, you're going to be looked at probably in the next. Oh, it just got delivered, I think. Yeah, there's 3 people in front of you. It looks like, or 4 people in front of you. So it's coming up. You will hear from us soon. Yeah, Sean's a customer. I am addictive. Wow. Okay. Very few channels get you triggered like me. Wow. I'm impressed. I just started actually doing these long form videos about 3 months ago. I was doing shorts for about a year. The shorts are fast paced. I'm just using a voiceover. I use my announcer voice, and they're just going to be fun. Fast and fun. These longer form ones, I just kind of had to come up with it on the spot, and I did take a lot of notes watching other people like Soren, especially. I like his format. I like how laid back he is. I like how simple he explains things. He uses simple terms. He doesn't try to like talk over people's heads. He's not trying to make people feel dumb. He wants people to understand the concepts, and so that's kind of where I go with that. So let's see. What else we got here? Greetings from Italy. Watching in Southern California. 9500 white LED next to the second NVMe slot. What is that supposed to? So that's the power on light, or it's just a light that basically indicates the board is powering on, which is funny because it's kind of hidden, but yeah, that's what that's for. It turns on whenever you do like a CMOS reset. Addictive, not vindictive. Well, thank you. Maybe I'm going to take that and make a shirt out of it. Alex off. The Dell charger ID pin is using for a bench power supply. Yeah, I don't know how he does that. You're saying a company called Alexoff can emulate the PSID pin for a Dell charger. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't really figured out how that works yet. I know that Soren uses some universal plugs, and then he uses his charger on there, but sometimes it won't detect the charger properly. He only uses like a 5 amp charger or 5 amps power supply anyway, so you're going to cap out pretty easily. What's great about these is that you just plug in whatever charger you want. So There is just a regular Dell 7.4 millimeter jack on the back, so if the customer sends in a 330 watt, you just plug it in the back and it powers right up. GPU repairs. Shorted electrolytic capacitor on the 12 volt rail. Ever seen this before? I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't know. Electrolytic capacitors, they do have a tendency of going out. And then you're going to have a lot of current going through those cards and heat and stuff like that. So, but usually, I don't know if the capacitor itself would short out the rail. So I'm not sure if it's the actual cap, the electrolytic cap that would be. You're talking about like a tantalum or like a barrel one, you know, that sticks up. I'm not sure. Yeah, my videos capture my thought process. That's really what I'm trying to get across. Is like we're doing this repair together, right? So I'm sitting down. I haven't looked at it. I intentionally do not look at the laptop. I don't want to know anything about it. So we can go in cold together and we try to figure it out. So, and then I just talk through it. Learning tons of stuff from you and Soren. Well, it's funny because I learned tons of stuff from Soren, and I'm just kind of all these little bits and bytes that I've learned over the years from him. I've kind of relayed back. So I'm all self-taught. There's no class I went and took or anything like that. So kind of what I do is I watch all these videos like Soren's videos and you know, some Northridge and some, you know, the other, like Louis Rossman's older videos, and there's a couple other guys, I can't remember, but you know, and then I tag them, or I save those videos and I take notes off of them. So every single one, I learn a little bit of something, and a lot of it's like concepts building on each other, and then you experiment, and so. How do you get a Dell 7300 to be fixed in Ghana? Okay, so I only fix laptops in the United States, and started doing some Canada. I'm experimenting with that. So if you're in Guyana, you're gonna have, I don't know. I just can't handle like paying shipping back and forth. International shipping fees are astronomical. I put a year warranty on my repairs, so it would be kind of hard to offer a warranty internationally. So you'd have to pay for all the shipping. You're sad that you didn't know I was there. Oh, hey, Silva, how you doing? You're just watching to see if you spot a PC live on repair. Yeah, I'm sure somebody wants to see. It's hard to do these repairs live. I was, you know, the first one we did my first live stream. The last week live stream I did was kind of an epic fail. I did end up getting that. Whoever was there watching that, I did get that wire put in there. It did take a lot longer than I was hoping. So, through hole barrel jack, yeah, electrolytic capacitor, and you replaced it and the card worked normally. Interesting. Well, I guess it happens. I don't work on video cards, so I mean, there's nothing I can say about that. I only work on laptops, so. I made this business out of what? The question, right? Yeah, so I started this business when I was 21 years old. I didn't graduate from high school. I have a good enough degree, GED, and I had some money saved after working at a computer store, and I bought some inventory and I started selling it on eBay, and I just took that $5,000 of money that I had saved and I just kind of reinvested that. And that was 23 years ago, actually, on the 8th. So tomorrow will be my 23-year anniversary of starting this business, and it's more than half my life. And yeah, it's been a lot of work, but I have a lot of dedicated employees that have been with me for most of the time. I got quite a few have been there about 15 years, and I got a few that are about to be 20 years here. Three different people have been here for 20 years, so I'm lucky and blessed for that. He's playing with his power supply again. Okay, so you guys ready for me to do this instead of just chat? I figured that we could chat for a little bit. Yeah, same with the GED. Yeah, I mean, if you're dedicated and you want to work hard, then I think you can learn anything you want. So, and so I'm always learning something. I mean, I write software. And so like all the front end and back end parts of the website. I have POS. I got time clocks. I got inventory management systems, mapping system. I have all this stuff that I build. So just by learning, to write my own code too. And now AI can do really crappy code for you, but they can do it. I appreciate it. Happy anniversary. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay. Am I married? Yes. Married 18 years. I have 2 kids that are 12 and 15 years old, girls. I don't work on phones. I only work on laptops, Alienware, and Dell, period. And I will not work on anything else. And the reason why is because I sell all the parts for these Dells. And it's too hard to sell parts for every single model. And I have about 500,000 parts back there in my 14,000 square foot warehouse. That's where most of my revenue is made from, is actually selling the parts. Repair is probably 3% of my business. So it's not repair is not a money-making thing. So if you think you're going into it to make some money, you're not. This is just a break-even part of my business. That's why I don't charge a bunch of money for doing these things. I look really young. I am 45 years old, or about to be. I'm 45 years old. So, all right. And I'm balding and I'm turning gray, but hopefully you guys aren't seeing that too much. So, and I'm happy. Yes, I'm very happy. All right. So, you guys want to look at my old one first? I have it taped together. It's pretty bad. Ever work on a Mac? The last Mac I've even touched was probably a 2008 Mac or something like that. I don't even know. YouTube has any percentage? It's starting to actually make a little bit of money, but not much. It's, YouTube it's a grind too. It's like every single week you have to put a video out, and if you don't put it out, then YouTube, starts kind of pulling your traffic away. I think it's really crazy though. I mean, we have 220 people watching right now, and this probably would be more if I'm doing something besides chatting, but I think it's crazy that like 60 or 70% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. It blows my mind. But I guess I've fallen prey to that. There's some channels I don't subscribe to, but I watch every week too, so. But I also don't ask for subscribers or likes or any of that stuff, because that's not part of my thing. It's not in my brain. I just want to give an experience that people they'll enjoy, they'll want to tune in, and hopefully that will pay off in the long run. Do I have any keyboards for a 7737? I think that's an older model. I mean, all the parts I have are on my website, so I'll have a real-time inventory. You can just look there and it will tell you if I have them. If I'm out of stock, then I'm out of stock. And basically, I buy out Dell's inventory, and they probably don't stock it anymore, and so they're not purging the inventory. And so whatever I get is whatever I get, because whatever's in the ether, basically. So, oh, I appreciate the sub. Tariffs, yeah, the tariffs suck. So, so hopefully that will, move on eventually. I appreciate the subs. Wow. All right, let's open this ridiculous thing up here. So here's my original one, and I'll zoom in just a little bit for you guys. Does everyone see that all right? So I'm going to pull the screen out real quick, and then you can see it. Yes, I make more money from selling Dell parts. We ship about 150 to 200 orders a day, about 50,000 orders a year. So yeah, partspeople.com is my website. You can see it on my shirt, Parts People. Okay, so here's the little screen that's in here. So these were the cheapo ones. You can buy like 5 for $10 or something. And it's just a 7-segment display. And then you plug, I'm just running the 2 different versions of these wires. So Dell actually makes them with the 7.4, which they don't do anymore because everything's USB-C. And they make them with wait, did I say 7.4? This is a 4.5 millimeter, and this is a 7.4. So the one we're going to build today was only going to have a 7.4. We're not even going to put the 4.5 on here because Dell doesn't even use those anymore. They switched everything to USB-C. But here's a rat's nest, and we're going to make it look much better on the newer one. But let me plug this in. I just want to show you what it looks like when it's on. Looks super retro. Yeah, how do you pin? I can pin something up here? Pin my website? I don't know. Again, I'm new to live streaming, so look at that. Smart guys. There you go. All right. You guys are so helpful. I love it. And actually, this community is, everyone works together so well and want to help each other, you know. I mean, sure, there's a few different sourpusses in the comments sometimes, but for the most part, everyone is very nice. Okay, so I have that plugged back together. This one's actually broken, this meter, but I'm just going to plug it in so you can see what it looks like. And yeah, so it's 20 volts. And it actually should be 20.13 with 0.01 amp draw. But you see how this one says 20 flat, and then it doesn't have any amp draw. So this one's not sensitive at all. So if you're trying to use this version to diagnose a laptop not powering on, it's not going to work. So let's see. All right, so this one's trash. I don't really care about this one. Okay, we're done with that one. Yeah, it looks retro. I wish we could get one that looks retro for this style, but I'm not going to open this one up because we're going to make one, and I actually have all the parts right here. So we have the screen. It's linked in the video description. I have a wire, and what this is, I have no way of selling you one of these, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that, but this is off of a 240 watt charger probably, or 330. You want it off of like a very big power adapter, unless you're not going to be plugging any high-end gaming laptops into it. But so anyway, so I just cut them off whenever the chargers go bad. I cut them off and I save them, so I have them. So I don't know what to tell you about this. You're going to maybe buy like a cheap knockoff charger and then cut it, maybe. I don't know. I like this one too because it has the LED that lights up, like on the end here, so you can see if it's on or not. If you can see, Corey's in the chat. Corey's actually my twin brother, and he's been with me here since 2008. And so he's in the chat helping answer some questions. If you have any questions, he can look up parts and stuff like that too. Okay. And then, so we got those two parts. The next thing we need is a DC jack. And so I've designed the case and here's the case. And the case is just two pieces, simple. And I've designed this case in 3D printed case to take any of these Alienware jacks. And so I just linked this one because I have the most of them and they're cheap. They're like 15 or 12 bucks or something. So this is for an Alienware M15R3, I think, or an R2. So I have a bunch of them. And so you just want a gaming jack, and it's going to be big enough to fit in this area just fine, but it also will carry enough current, so that's the main thing. Am I a Dell Alienware technician? I'm not an official one, but that's all I do, so that makes it where I am one, I guess. I'm not Dell certified or anything, but I'm sure Dell would certify me. I don't know. Do I pay custom taxes on my power meter? So this is... I bought it on Amazon, and so I'm sure they're going to build it into the price. So here's the power screen. Again, it's linked in there. And so it's very simple. That's what I like about this one, is it is just 4 wires. There you go. Can you see it? So it has the load, and then it has the DC in. So it's going to be very simple to make. And I'm going to do it solderless. So the other ones have been soldered together, so we're going to do a version where it's not soldered, because some people don't have ways of doing that. Plus, it's kind of a pain anyway. Goodwill, cheap. Oh, man, you guys are so smart. Yes, go to Goodwill and try to find a cheap barrel connector, but it has to be the Dell version, right? So it's a 7.4 millimeter. And then it has, in the center, there's a PSID pen. Here, we'll go into the microscope so we can look at it. Can I get it high enough? Can't get it high enough. Hold on, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so can you see there's an inner and an outer, and then there's that center pin. That center pin's the communication line with the laptop. So it's called a PSID pin, and it basically just, the charger connects to the laptop and then says what wattage it is, and so the laptop knows how much current it can pull. Without that there, then the laptop will say it has an unknown adapter, and it won't charge the battery. The laptop will run in like some extremely slow speed, like 300 megahertz or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, if you're going to get a barrel jack from Goodwill, then try to buy a Dell, and then you want as high a wattage as possible. This is from like a 240 watt. Evil Genius cloned himself. Yes, my twin brother. He's going to help me out. Do I have Dell docking stations? I do. So I have the older E series, probably have C series somewhere too, and D series even, I'm sure. And then yes, I have the USB-C docks. They're on our website. Batteries for an L321X, probably not. That's going to be a very, very hard battery to come by. So, did tariffs mess with my business? Yes, it did, because I only deal in Dell, and Dell is being affected. But I think Dell probably paid some cash or something, and so now they're being exempt from some stuff. So I think that's going to be okay for a little while, at least. All right, I'm going to get this out of here. All right, I need to focus on this. So the gist of this is that, so we have these parts, these 5 parts, okay? And we need screws. So I just have some 2mm screws, and then I'm gonna use one of these to make it where it's solderless. And so this is some ferrules, and they're not used for this exact purpose, but I love ferrules. They're so easy to use. Okay. And so what a ferrule is you usually take a wire and you slide it inside of here. You slide it inside, and then you have a crimping tool that crimps it on there, and then it makes a nice, neat end. But what we're going to do is we're going to slide both wires in, and then we're going to crimp it. And then that's how we're going to do it. And then we only need one of these, actually, because all we're going to do is bond the PSID pin together with this, and then we'll have to put some... I don't want Trump voice. I don't want any Trump stuff in my thing. All right. Sorry about that. I just usually have to bond the PSID pin, and then we're going to cover it up with some electrical tape or something like that. So it's going to be very simple to do. All right. Am I Dell certified? No. If I was, then I would make less money. It's funny how, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. It is so funny how many people call me and they say, I'm Dell certified. And I'm like, then you don't know anything. I tell you, it's like an ego boost for them, and then they just do not know what they're talking about. It is crazy. It drives me crazy. So, okay, so we're going to do this. All right, so this DC jack just fits in here like this. It's super, I have it perfectly fit. I don't know, do you guys want me to do something with a microscope or something? I'm trying to figure out the best way. Can you see it pretty good like that? So this just slides in and locks in place. Boom. That's it. It holds itself in place. And then we just need to cut this to whatever length we want, because the screen's going to go in this orientation like this. And so we need to be able to get to the wires here. And then this plug is going to be coming through this notch area. And then we need to get the wires over there. And that's it. So it's a very simple design. The main thing was, designing a case. And I've designed so much stuff, 3D printed so many things over the years. I've built many 3D printers. I just like messing with stuff, So, should I keep it zoomed in like this? Does that make it easier for you? So I'm just going to cut this off. We only get one chance at cutting it, so I'm going to cut it kind of long. Uh-oh. No going back. Yeah, thank you. No politics, please. Thank you. I need a knife. Sorry. Let me... Sorry, I gotta find a knife. I'll be right back. All right. Got an X-Acto knife here. So the purpose of the knife is I just need to peel back this sheathing, but you might be tempted to try to cut all the way around here and rip that off, but then you'll end up cutting the wires. So if you're done any electrical work, you never cut the sheathing around like this, okay? You're going to cut it in a strip this way, and then you can peel it back. You've seen IBM certified engineers who don't know anything either. Yeah, they swap parts, you know, like an Apple genius. Yep. I have a kind of a play on those, play on words, or not a play, I don't know. The Apple shirts. So I have this shirt right here is Parts People. So I have one that says expert, and that's my play on the Apple genius. I like that. Are we really all of a sudden going into politics? Guys, I'm going to start banning people. Just cut it out. Okay. All right, so I've spread these wires out, and if you can look at these, there's going to be a bunch of them, and the purpose of having a bunch of wires is because if you had one big thick wire, you would need a lot of wire. You need thick wire to carry current, right? So, but the way these DC jacks are set up is you have it set where you have a bunch of individual wires, and then those collectively carry the current, and then that way it can be able to manipulate and bend around different corners and stuff like that, right? So we just need to get these all getting together. Here's a smarter twin. That's relative. He is a musician, so he's very, very talented and like a musical genius, and I've always been more technical. So, all right, so I'm just going to bond these together like this. Actually, should have stripped them back first. Let me see if I can strip them back when they're bonded together and cut them even. Oh, MCSE. Yeah, I remember that was all the rage to become Microsoft certified. I remember looking at that test at one point. So I'm just going to shred each one of these, and then we'll bond them together. We'll strip them together or twist them together. Yeah. You know, whenever I hire a technician, I have tests or I have questions that I ask them, and a lot of it is I'm just trying to figure out what their thought process is, right? Because if they are willing to kind of come up with a way of, you know, answering the question in a problem-solving way, whether they know the answer or not, you know what I mean? That's kind of what you're looking for, and I think that's how the big tech companies are. They want to know that you actually have problem-solving ability, because there's too many people out there that are just like, I know everything, you know. And AI is not going to be able to take this job, I can tell you that. Because 99% of doing these types of repair is all going to be diagnosing. And diagnosing is, you have to collect all those clues, right? Every single thing is a clue. You look at something, that screw that's a little marred because somebody opened it, that's a clue. Somebody opened it, right? So it's like you have to follow all the clues. All right, sorry. I'm going to go through and do all these too. Maybe one of the good ones then. Yeah, critical thinking, not know-it-alls. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've always joked, I'm like, if you were going to be stuck on a deserted island with somebody, you'd want to be stuck on it with me because you would have a coconut phone, you would have all that stuff from Gilligan Island. I'm very good at like coming up with ways of solving problems with very little. Yeah, repair equals detective work. And like, yeah, no matter what, like, and it doesn't matter what industry, like if you're an automotive repair or even like a, phone repair or something like that, like, or I'm thinking like AT&T, like telephone type of stuff, servers, All right, so I have our 3 wires set up here, and I just twisted them all together so they can carry all the current together. And then the other one we need to prep is this one. I usually cut this down. I don't need it like super long, so you can see how long I have this one. I would like it a little bit longer, I think, so I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. Let's do... What do you think about that? Does that look pretty good? Stuck on an island with a Mary Ann. Oh. All right. We'll save this wire for something else. Okay, so do we cut the wire like this, or do we cut it like this? Testing you. So we're going to peel it back like this. Just cut a slit all the way down. And then you can peel it open. Ooh, crazy. I've never seen this design. I'll show you in a second. All right, so usually there's only 3 wires in here, and there's 5. And so if this is part of your examination, wires are multiple wires. Why are there more than just 3? It's similar to this, right? So they want to carry, you need to carry a lot of current, and if this is a high, this may be for a 330 watt, but maybe that's why it needs to be able to carry that much current. But it's going to share the current on each wire. So we're going to bond these together too. I appreciate that. My posts are very entertaining. Are my live streams entertaining? I had a comment that I saw on one of my live streams, which I've only done 2. One of them says, "I love your posts, but your live streams are cringy." I'm like, well, it's just, it is what it is. And if you don't like it, it's all right. It's a properly calibrated wire. Soren. Okay, so we have these together now. And, oh, this green one, I didn't explain what this green one is. This is the PSID pin, and then we have a brown one on here as a PSID pin. It's, let's see, sorry, can you see it? There you go. The brown's gonna go with the green. Now, when you open these up, not every single one will have the same colors inside of it. Same with this may be a white wire. But you'll usually have a bunch of red and a bunch of black, or it might be a bunch of white and a bunch of black and then another color. And then this one will be similar. So whatever the skinny one is, it doesn't carry a lot of current. It's only 3.3 volts, and that's what's going to be sending that signal to communicate with the laptop and say what type of charger it is, how big it is. Right. Easy pizza. Yeah, he's definitely coined some stuff. Coined some phrases for sure. We're the top dogs. I don't know. I think I'm still the underdog. He is the top dog for sure. He's been doing a lot longer than me. But again, he started, in TV repair or something like that. And you're having to kind of go down rabbit holes all the time trying to figure out things. And that's another reason why I try not to use any schematics or any board views. I have a lot of them, but I don't like to use them. And I like to do what he does, which if you notice whenever he does a repair, he's like, I don't have the schematic or whatever. And he probably does somewhere, but he's like, if you just look at the board is the schematic, right? It's saying this goes into this, this goes into this, this goes into this. Now, sure, Board views are awesome because you can click on a part and it will tell you where it connects. But as for schematic wise, I'm perfectly happy with just kind of following the board itself. Okay, so we can assemble now. This is, like I've said, this is like so simple. So I'm going to stick this through here and we're just going to snap it in place. Oh no, I'm not, I do that afterwards, but I need to run the wires through here afterwards, yeah. It's been a while since I built one of these. So on the back of this, we have 4 wires. We have the middle are going to be our DC in, so this is going to be coming in from the DC jack. And then the load's going to be the output, what we're going to be running to the laptop. So DC in from the DC jack, and we have negative and positive. Yes, I will not please everyone. I've actually learned that more and more. I read a comment and I'm like, oh, let me try to please this person. And then I realize, hey, most people don't like that. Like I did that poll. I don't know how many people voted on that poll, but I did a poll the other day about whether I should have background music in the videos or not, which the background music was turned down to like negative 35 dB. So it was like so quiet. But man, I got some complaints in that about having that background music in there. So I mean, I understand like if some people have like hearing aids or something like that where it's always plugged in and it's loud to them. Yes, what about the music? Yes, and the music, I don't think I'm going to put the music back in. It's not like it was very loud anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But all right, so I have the DC in, so the DC jack's hooked up, and then we're going to do the load. So black on black. So black is negative, by the way. I don't know, I didn't say that, but I'm sure, I was hoping that everyone knew that. Black is always negative. So we'll just slip that in there, and we'll tighten this down. You know what? I usually put ferrules on these too. I didn't even think about that. Huh. Well, is it going to work without a ferrule? I just was not even paying attention. It actually bends better. I think I like that better. But it will carry more current if we do a ferrule, so let's do ferrules on them. All right. During the hunt, yeah. Yeah, that could be good. All right, let's see what size ferrule will fit on here. Audio is the #1 factor for viewers, yeah, satisfaction. I would think so. I have a great audio engineer that helps me with the video editing now, and so he's the one who actually takes my audio and makes it sound better than what you're hearing right now. All right, so I have this ferrule on here. I just slipped it on, and then this is a crimping tool. It's a circular. See how it just kind of squeezes down circular? So I'm going to slide that on and clamp it down, and then boom. And now this is on there. And what's great about these ferrules is it allows it to carry a lot of current. Yeah, these wheel ferrules. These wheel ferrules work really good for carrying current and streaking at the quad. Oh gosh, okay. All serious now. Okay, so we're going to do this one too. Yeah, board view and schematics are becoming more needed with the complexity of the devices. Yeah, chasing signals. I mean, yeah, it is, unfortunately, but you have to kind of learn to do it without it as much as you can. There are a lot of models I cannot get them for. It seems like every single MacBook schematic is out there, but a lot of these Dells are hidden. Oh, Step Brothers, we can do that one. All right, so this one's a little smaller, so I'm gonna use this smaller one. You like the bell sound? I saved our laptop! Yeah, I had somebody commenting about that saying, you need a better tagline. I'm like, well, I don't know. I think that one's pretty funny. You know, I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. Okay, so these are on here now. Wait, is this one tight? Yes. So these are really tight. They're very bonded. And now we can install it. How many layers are on Dell boards on average? Well, 2 to 20. That's just a guess. I have no idea. Alienware boards are really thick, and some, you know, like a 13-inch XPS is going to be really skinny. So it's not going to have very many layers. New day, new laptop to repair. Okay, let's do this one now. And these are going to be tight because they're kind of big, so I'm hoping they'll kind of fit in here still. Uh-oh. What is this guy typing numbers in for? What is that? All right, if you're just joining in, I'm building my Dell PowerBox. I know that some people may be just joining in. So this is the Dell PowerBox. I'm just showing you how to build it. All right. We almost have these wires in. We're almost halfway done. And believe me, it only takes about 10 minutes to do this. Where do I find board views and schematics? Bad Caps, of course. The best website on the market. Yeah, so if you haven't been to Bad Caps, go there, create an account, search, contribute to the forum, and then you can get stuff off the forum too. All right, so we have this connected. If we plug this in right now, it should fire up. Let's look at it. Boom. There it is. And there's a calibration. See how it's at 0.01? There's a way to calibrate it down to 0 because we're not pulling any current yet, so we'll have to mess with that. And then the last wire we need to hook up is going to be this PSID pin that allows the laptop to talk to the charger. And so we're just going to bond that together with a ferrule also, and then we'll put a piece of electrical tape on it so it doesn't touch anything. But yeah, buying a spare charger is a great advice. So what I always do with chargers, I love having multiple chargers. I have one next to my bed, one next to the couch, one in my bag, you know, things like that. So then you don't have to move them around. Okay, so I just bonded that together and it's set up. It's connected. And then I'll just need to, I'm going to cut some of this off because we don't need it that long. I could do heat shrink tubing on it actually. Let's do that. All right, so I just took a piece of heat shrink tubing and I'm just going to slide it on there and then we will just melt it or shrink it. That's just because that it's going to be exposed and we're not putting that in anything, and I just don't want it to touch anything else. So there we go. All right, the whole thing's built. See you later. Goodbye. Just kidding. Let's see. So we're going to run these through here. And this newer version has like a little cavity on the side where these wires can fit into. My older version didn't have that, so I can just fit that in there like that, and boom, it just snaps in place. And you can see the back side of it. And then we'll just plug our jack into its home. There you go. And then this wire goes through this little slit like so. And then you put the top on it. And that's it. And if you had the 4.5 millimeter, you would run it through here, but I'm not even, I think that I should get rid of that. The last model that used that was a 2019, and so they're not using that on any of the newer ones. They're all USB-C. And then I have 4 screws, but we don't have to screw that together, do we? You don't want to watch me screw screws? I think that's the most boring thing. I love cutting out screwing screws. We can chat some more, though, if you'd like. Oh, do you want to see it in action? Maybe we should test it since we just built it. All right, so I'm going to plug it straight in. I was plugging it through that meter. We're going to plug it in to the back here. And let's put my camera on it. So here's our new one. It looks a little brighter even. The screen looks cleaner. I don't have it screwed together so it wants to tilt. There we go. That's our new one. Here, let me grab a laptop. We'll plug it into it. Here, we'll grab a... All right, here is a really old laptop. Thought you would get a kick out of this. This is like a, I don't know, 2012 laptop. All right, so I'm going to plug in the charger. I don't even know if this works, so we're about to learn if it works or not. 0.03, 0.81, it's powering on, 0.99, 0.5. You see how it's moving around? That's how we know it's the laptop's actually doing something. We haven't even looked at the screen, but by using the meter, you can actually read whether the laptop's working or not. I didn't need to calibrate it, actually. I think it was after I booted it up for the first time it calibrating itself back down, so it's actually working just fine. So it's moving up and down, and then we can just open the lid and see what it's actually doing. Dell screen. There you go. There we go. So that's working. Can I make an output for USB-C? I'm sure I could eventually, but what I use is I just buy this guy right here. I love it. This is a Power Z. I have a link in the description for it too, and then I have this style too, which is another Power Z. I like this one. I just kind of bolt it on here, and then it has a PC interface, and you can see, there you go. You can see it on the screen there. And then I just plug an extension wire into it, and then that's what I plug into the laptop. So I can just keep that there for me, and then I have the other one on the screen right here for you guys, and that works up. I'm sure I could make one, but I'm not going to go through all that effort if it's already been made. Do you have STLs? Yes, the STLs in the case, it's all linked in here down below. And you can get it printed up PCBWay. That's a good idea, yeah. I built a Thingiverse profile or whatever, and so you can just download it off of there. There's pictures. You have 2 XPS 17 laptops. Yeah, the blue probably tends to burn out, and maybe that's why this one's so faded, because it's on all the time. I never turn it off. I remember that was all the rage when the PS2 came out, or PS3? When did they switch to the blue laser LED? Do I have replacement keyboards? Yeah, I have, I pretty much every single part for every model. There's going to be some models that are going to be harder to get some of the parts, so you can just look on our website, parts people. I have about 500,000 parts on that website. Real-time inventory tells you exactly how many are in stock. You can ship the same day. I ship worldwide, about 200 countries, and every single part's going to be a guaranteed Dell genuine OEM with a serial number, and I put a year warranty on it. You have an M18R1 with a 4080, Windows 11, no longer sees the 4080. I'm sorry about that. If your 4080 is not showing up, then you have a major issue, and it could be fixable, it could not. So I don't know. It's probably not getting power to it, and so that could be something simple, but I've seen it just be just a bad chip altogether. So, hey Gordon, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Dude, you're getting a Dell. Yeah, that'd be funny. I don't want to get sued by Dell. So I always tread lightly with anything I do with Dell, because Dell, they're okay with me selling their parts, but they don't want me to imitate them or act like I am them. There has been plenty of situations where if you search for Dell computer or something like that, then our website came up, and so I get plenty of calls that people think I'm Dell, because that's all we do. Even tech support, Dell tech support gives out our phone number. So, I mean, I've dealt with them plenty of times over the years, directly for. I have to put a notice on the bottom of my I have to put a notice on the bottom of the website that says not affiliated with the Dell Computer Corporation or Dell Technologies. Yes, that's a good advice is to check whether the card is detected in the BIOS or not. I suspect it won't be if it's not showing up in Windows. No problem. I like to share as much information as I can, and I love to share my thought process with things. So I'd love to see if people actually make this power box. I don't know if, you would have to be kind of a technician to need it. So I'm not sure if, I know I get plenty of requests on where to buy it. I mean, maybe I can make them eventually and sell them, but, is it possible to use USB-C plugs? Like I said, I just use this USB-C meter right here if you want to use that. Have an adapter that Dell makes that you can plug into this and get USB-C, and so yes, you can do that, but the problem with those adapters are that it doesn't, the laptop doesn't always detect the USB-C properly, and so there's sometimes issues trying to diagnose things. When's my next live stream? I'm going to try to do one of these weekly. This is my third week in a row that I've done it, and so I feel like I'm getting a little better with it, working the bugs out, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. How do you add an LTE card to a Latitude 5590? You don't. I mean, you can. I hate to tell you, but it's like on these Latitudes, they're made for WWAN, so where you can have a world area network card. But if you buy it not configured with a world area card or a WWAN card already installed, LTE card, then you're going to have to go through all these hoops of converting the laptop to a WWAN laptop, and sometimes those parts you can't find them. And so you'll have to buy a new back cover sometimes because you need new antennas. Sometimes you have to have this other support bracket. Sometimes you have to have, you'll go down a whole rabbit hole trying to do it, and it might be easier just to buy one that's already equipped with it. So I'm missing some chats here. Let me. Hey, you're going to build one of those boxes. That's good. Awesome. I'd love to see it. One of the most cursed laptops ever that I've worked on. Oh, man. Phew. Cursed laptops. Well, I mean, they're only cursed until you don't know what's wrong with it, and then once you kind of figure out, you're like, okay, well, then you got to figure it. I can't, I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll come back to that one. I can't, because I can think of problem laptops, and then once I figure it out, I'm like, oh, that's all it was, but I don't know exactly. You heard USB-C chargers and laptops are crap. Can't handle high voltages. Yeah, so laptops that are 100 watts, usually 130 watts or below, are going to be all using USB-C at this point. And yes, they're sketchy. It's a kind of a pain whenever they do break. The machine, they're hard to fix because you have multiple USB-C ports, but what happens if your USB-C port or the USB-C PD controller breaks on one side, you'll have it make all the ports don't work, which is crazy. So I don't know. It's a gift. You know, it's good. USB-Cs are good because it's universal, but I just miss the old barrel jack. Yes. You're are you going to start printing that case right now? All right, I appreciate it. We'll see. Good luck. What is that power supply used for? So if you haven't watched my videos before, so this is it right here. It's my Dell power box, and you plug it into a laptop, and it allows you to read the current that is going into the laptop. And you just plug any regular Dell charger into it, and then it passes through and then tells you the current and voltage. Double Hall, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you like these videos and the live streams. I'm trying. Be sure the USB-C ports are always clean. Yeah, that's true. Do I have any Ultra monitors? I don't sell monitors. I have sold them in the past, but I hate shipping monitors. I can tell you that. So I don't like. It's just not worth it. It costs too much to ship it, and then if someone needs to return it, and then you know, it's like everything adds up really quickly. Do you have one of those mentioned donor board cursed? I mean, I have so many donor boards back there. I mean, you know, the thing is, it's like there's XPSs that drive me crazy because when they have a certain fault, I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on with them. And it's this low volt. And I think I did a video on it and I was able to resolve one of them, but I haven't been able to fix a lot of them whenever they do this low voltage on the main power rail. And I'm still trying to figure out what causes that. So what can I say about Soren? Soren is awesome. I love how he explains things simply and doesn't try to talk over people's heads, and he loves to think back or think out loud in a way that allows people to think, you know, solve the repair with him. So. All right, what time is it? Okay, it's getting kind of late. I'm going to start wrapping this up here. You get any more questions in, and then we'll wrap this up. Would I work on HPs just to change jacks? No, I do not. I haven't worked on any other manufacturer of laptops since probably, I think, 2001 or something. I don't know. I've only worked on Dell since 2002. That's it, period. How's my daughter's play? Hey, you remembered. It was awesome. Yeah, so it was Shrek the musical, and I was impressed. It's, you know, a bunch of high schoolers, and they can put on a show. And I went and saw it the next day for a matinee also, so I saw it back to back. Will you have search Soren? Have you ever heard of him before? I watch Soren all the time. Yeah, yeah. So Soren is awesome. Yeah, he's a great channel. Yeah, my daughter's play was really good. I can't believe you guys joined in or remembered about that. That's awesome. I still have 300 people watching me, and I cannot believe it. Okay. Do I watch Paul Daniels? Yes, I do watch some Paul Daniels stuff, and he's actually chimed in on some of the videos, and so he was supposed to be, I'm going to try to get with him on doing some stuff, and I'm going to try to get with Salem Techsperts, and we're going to be doing something soon together. I actually have a screen for him right now. I was supposed to be shipping out today, so I'm going to ship it tomorrow. Is the power supply key to detect fault? The key on the screen here? Is that what we're talking about? I didn't press this button for you, but it just turns on and off the light. And I think you can hold it down and clear it. So like this, how many watts I've used through here, and I think you can hold it down and then go through all the settings. Yeah. I don't ever mess with it. I mean, that's how you calibrate it too. Uh-oh. I'm breaking something. 90 volts. We don't have 90 volts going through there. I don't know what I messed with. I'll have to play with that again. Yeah, Paul's good. You are 232 in this power meter. Yes. So I could get his power meter. That is actually a good idea to support him too, because I do have his board view software. I paid for that. Oh, there's no replacement for your laptop. I might be able to cross-reference it. What model is it? You just put and 548. Is it 15 or 5548 probably? Do not mention Arduino to Paulo Daniels. Really? Ooh. Wow. So what does he write with? I mean, what is he using then? What kind of chip? You have an XPS 12 turnstile screen. Sorry, you'll never gonna be able to find one of the screens ever again, if that's what you're looking for. Lamination of the touchscreen seems to be dissolving. Yes. I might be able to dig one. I have a laptop at home, one of those, and I might be able to dig that screen up and be able to send it to you or something, but I bet it's delaminated too. I had piles of them in my warehouse, and they're all brand new, and I pull them out, and they're all delaminating. And I even have a climate control. I put a couple 10-ton air conditioning units in my warehouse, so everything's climate controlled. And they still delaminated. You think Paul Daniels stopped manufacturing it? Huh. I have to look that up. Okay, so you have a 7548 Spirit 4K screen. So it may take a couple, there may be a different 4K screen. I won't look at it right now, but I will see if I can update that tomorrow. We'll go through and see if I can cross-reference stuff. So the way it works is like Dell doesn't tell me what part goes to what machine. And so what we do is we buy every single machine that Dell ever makes. So anytime they release a new one, we buy that machine. And then we take that machine apart, take a picture of every single part and list every single part for every single model. And then we also use that to cross-reference against any other part that Dell has made and sold. And then that's how we figure out if this screen goes to that, or that keyboard goes to that, or sometimes it's like a webcam. And I also wrote software that will cross-reference through service tags, and we'll read all the service tag stuff and then start reading back and forth. And so all that service tag stuff, I wrote that too. So Paul, in the process of being transferred to Harold the Chipmunk guy. Oh, interesting. How long have I been doing repairs for? So I started working at a repair shop in '99 when I was 19 years old. And then I started this company in 2002 when I was 21. Your spelling stinks tonight. Well, you know what? My reading is the worst. So I have a hard time reading comments. I'm doing my best, especially names. So that's why I'm not yelling out a bunch of people's names. Any other questions before we wrap this up? So Paul Daniels stopped the manufacturing, but can do it exceptionally. So he was manufacturing himself, and then now he's going to outsource? Is that what you're saying? He was kind of making them at home? Or he was like getting JLC PCB to make the boards, and he was assembling or something like that? Have I successfully changed the CPU? I've never changed a CPU or GPU or chipset. And I haven't really been interested in trying. I know the last live stream people convinced me to kind of mess around it on the weekend, and maybe I will do that for fun. I actually looked at, I have a laptop with a bad chipset right now, and I was like, oh, can I try doing this? Yeah, maybe. You started in 1991 working on hams and all that stuff. I actually need to get ham certified. My daughter is doing something with NASA, and she is needing to get ham certified, so I told her I would do it with her. So I have to study. Black Horse Repairs on YouTube. Oh, I'll check them out. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining in on this one. I'm going to try to do one a week, and I'll try to come up with something entertaining for next week. So Matthew Cooper inside the chat, he's been doing my video editing. So if you guys enjoy the video editing and the sound, the audio quality, that's who's been doing my editing. So shout out to Matt. You want me to play games? I can't play games. I'm not a gamer. Okay, well, everyone, that wraps this one up. Oh, swap a chip. I could do that for fun. Swap a chipset on the live stream, and I'd never done it before. Ooh. That might be kind of entertaining. We could try that out. Okay, well, I appreciate everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you probably next week.